Today I will be pickling and canning beets from my garden. First you need to trim off the skinny roots and also the tops, but don't cut too far down into the flesh of the beet. Then you need to scrub the beets very well. I like to soak them in water and then use a potato scrubber to make sure I get all the dirt off of the beets. Put the beets in a pan and cover with water. After that, you need to cover with a lid and bring to a boil. Cook the beets until they are fork tender, but not mushy. This will take about 20 to 30 minutes. If you have the large round beets, it may take longer. Remove the beets from the water so they can cool, and while they're doing that, you can go ahead and mix the pickling brine. I use 3½ cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, 2½ cups of apple cider vinegar, and 1 tablespoon pickling spice. Next, you'll want to wear gloves so that you don't get beet juice all over your hands. I'm trimming the ends off of the beets and then peeling off the skin. While they're warm, it's easy to remove the skin. Another method is using a paper towel to rub off the skin. I found this method was helpful if the skins are being stubborn about coming off. Otherwise, it's easier just to use your fingers. I left most of my beets whole, but this one's larger, so I cut it up in slices so the beets would be a closer uniform size. If you have the larger, rounder beets, you might want to do slices. Add your beets to the pickling brine and bring to a boil. You want to make sure everything is hot all the way through. You also need to heat the lids in boiling water. You want to get these very hot, otherwise they won't seal. Now we're ready for canning. First of all, I put down an old towel so we wouldn't stain the countertop. The jars have already been washed, and then we also heated them up in our dishwasher so they'll be sterile. Want to go ahead and put the hot liquid inside your jar with the beets. The key is to keep everything hot so everything will seal and you won't have bacteria grow in your jars. Once I get the jar full with beets, then I top up with the juice. Once your jar is full, you want to wipe it off with a clean rag so that you don't have anything around the side of the jar. This is very important, otherwise it won't seal and you could get bacteria and germs grow inside the jar. Next, you place a hot lid on top, and I like to use tongs for this since it's very hot. And then you can screw on one of the rings. Now this doesn't have to be super tight. It's helpful to use a towel to hold the jar since the jar is very hot. And I keep doing this process. I get one jar out of a time out of the dishwasher so I keep them warm until I'm ready to fill each jar. As I fill each jar, I put it in my canner that is already filled with water and boiling so that I keep the jars hot. Put the jars in a canner and cover with boiling water. Boil for about 30 minutes. Remove the jars from the water and let cool. Also check and make sure they do seal. That's the popping sound you want to hear. That means a jar has sealed. You can tell if your cans are sealed. First of all, they will pop, and also the lids sink in. If they're raised, then they didn't seal, and you'll need to remove the lids and do it all over again. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more cooking videos. I also have videos about Vicky, our dog, and also crafting videos.